What's up, my friends in film fandom, wherever you may be and however you may be watching? Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time and the long-awaited sequel, or threequel, or whatever the hell the seventh in a franchise is. I don't even know what you call that anymore. But the long-awaited seventh installment of Scream has been released. It has made a bunch of money so far and has split the audience opinions right down the middle, as I think good movies are supposed to do. But we're here to talk about it today and how awesome or bad it was. Here to talk about it with me are, of course, the two horror heads that I have in my life, the two people who are experts in all things blood and gore. Starting with my hero life mate, Jeremy. What's up, brother?
I think you call 7 too damn many. Is what you call that. I'm
not too long.
No, I'm having a good time watching the internet implode over the CEO, president, whoever the fuck millionaire I don't care about of McDonald's not being able to eat a burger or understand what that is. It's been pretty damn funny because every other burger joint now has been just flame roasting this fucker online, and it's the funniest thing to me. I mean, sure, other things are going on in the world, but at least I can have my funny moments. So there's that.
And the shape of the Lone Star State, my man Tex. What's up, brother?
You know, I'm just putting this out into the world to see if this happens. But if anybody's looking for the perfect gift for the old Texifier, if you could get me a beer tap with the shape of a human skull where beer comes out of the mouth, that would just be fan-fucking-tastic. Because when I saw that in this film, I almost stood and applauded. I need me a killer life. If you combine beer and gore, two of my favorite things in the world, into one, come on, man. Like, somehow I knew Kevin Williamson was like, all right, there's some redneck in Texas that's going to love this shit. So thank you at least for that part, Kevin Williamson. I'm going to shit on you later, but for now, I will thank you. So just wanted to get that in there.
He wants to butter you up a little bit before he kicks you in the balls.
Hey, put me in Scream 8. I can be one of the killers because, hell, one of them is in it for 10 seconds? What's 10 seconds of screen time on a Paramount budget? What the hell? Let's do this.
We'll talk about the killers and the validity of whatever the hell they are later on. A Scream movie. Again, a Scream movie has badly disappointed.
The Scream, baby! To quote, scary movie.
But let's get right down to it. Right now, we're here to talk about Scream 7. It's the 2026 American slasher film, a sequel to Scream 6, obviously, which came out in 2023. Seventh installment of the Scream film franchise. It's directed by Kevin Williamson from a screenplay that he co-wrote with Guy Busick from a story written by Busick and James Vanderbilt. The film sees the return of Neve Campbell, Jasmin Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, and Courteney Cox from previous films, with Isabel May, Anna Camp, Mckenna Grace, Mark Consuelos for some reason, and Joel McHale also starring in the film. This film follows a new Ghostface killer who targets Sidney Prescott's daughter. Scream 7 premiered at Paramount Pictures Studio on February 25th. It was released in the United States on February 27th. The film received negative reviews from critics, but set the record for the highest opening weekend in the franchise. On Rotten Tomatoes, 31% of 171 critics' reviews are positive, with the website's consensus review reading, quote, less a return to Scream's roots than a disappointing creative regression. This seventh entry draws little blood with its dull knife of a script. However, as of March 2nd, 2026, Scream 7 has grossed $67 million in the United States and Canada, along with $33.1 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of just over $100 million. And let me get your quick thoughts, Jeremy. Give me a paragraph or so before we get into all the spoilery goodness. What do you think of Scream 7?
It was definitely better than Scream 6, which the movie decided to almost break the fourth wall and tell me about 14 different times. I'm like, okay, I understand. We get it. I think that which we'll get into later, but they got half the formula correct, and by which I mean Neve Campbell was actually fucking present during this movie.
She was in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, along with Courteney Cox, who were like, yeah, sure, she was in 6, but it doesn't. Well, no, Simon and Garfunkel's a bad fucking example. I can't use the two of them because I can't help but think of the Family Guy joke, like when he's like, what's this without this? What's Simon without Garfunkel? He's like, extremely successful. Like, yeah. That's a great joke. But you get what I mean. I don't know. Fuck. What's Starsky without Hutch? You know what I mean? Might be a better example. But yeah, they kind of got this one. This was a little more fun. It kind of the only one downside I have to it is it's my reaction. Unfortunately, is always the same by the end, where it's like, okay, you were obvious as hell the entire time, and the other one's like, who the hell are you? Okay,
right.
Anyway, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, you are now okay. Now here's your motivation. You got to overact the absolute shit out of this scene and act like it's like the most important thing to you in the world. Go. And I'm like, damn, I'm supposed to care. I think excitement. I don't know. There's 7 of these damn movies, and we've been doing this for, I think, literally 96 the last 30 years. So,
well, according to my Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster of Scream 7, it says 30 years on the bottom, my friend. So, yeah,
I think this is 30. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole of like complaining that it's always the same. So what the hell? Or if they can do something different, I'm like, well, I don't like that. Like, I don't even know anymore. Like Frank said, like, once you have like 3 movies, maybe even 4 if you're really good. But like, I don't know. We need to hang up the phone and quit telling people our favorite scary movies. I'm bored.
So, Tex, what do you think? I would imagine you've got a couple of pages of notes somewhere close by because you're into this. This is horror. This is Scream. This is right after. I mean, it could only be more interesting to you if Rob Zombie had directed this film. Give me your quick thoughts.
Hey, don't put that. Don't tell me I could have a Rob Zombie directed Scream film and not make it happen, because I'm going to throw my wallet at that. But yeah, this one's a mixed bag. There's more of this film that I like than I don't. But the things I don't like, I really don't like them. Like, if that makes any sense to anybody else whatsoever. Some really good kills, a bit heavy with the CGI gore. I do have to penalize it for that. Yeah. Well, 2 of the killers mean nothing. There's one in here that I would say is, holy shit, that's just straight up fucking evil and has to go to the top. And there's, I know people crap on, it's just another slasher. How many fucking movies has Michael and Jason got at this point? I mean, this is kind of a trend for a reason. So yeah, this is I've watched some of the reviewers, and I think some people have been unfair in ways. I mean, hell, I've seen horror reviewers complain that, Ghostface was being too gory. This is a fucking slasher film. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, the second you say that, you lose all credibility to me. But yeah, this one's a mixed bag that I could talk all night. But yeah, I've got thoughts, needless to say. It is what it is.
Yeah, I've said it a million times. Of all the big horror franchises that are out there, this is one of my least favorite big franchises. It got off to a decent start. I thought the first Scream movie was decent. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was decent. And the second and third one, just the second one alone looked like something that would have gotten made to have been dumped on like a cable channel. The third one I thought was just terrible. And then when they tried to give it a more modern thing, they brought in Sarah Bareilles and what's her name, Wednesday, whatever the hell her name is.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. Giving it a new face and remodernizing it, I thought it made a little bit of sense. And I kind of liked that movie. I thought it was almost as good as the original. And a lot of things happen, obviously, that don't really have anything to do with the movie. There's the stuff about Sarah Bareilles leaving, Jenna Ortega kind of going with her.
Bunch of fucking idiots.
But stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the movie is my point. And so, and then it kind of throws everything into turmoil. And I think that out of that, they should have gotten an opportunity to maybe kind of get a little bit more back to the roots of what this thing was in 1996. and not just bring Neve Campbell back. And that was really their only choice, was to go ahead and back the, give her the bag, as they say when they're talking about sports contracts. Give her the bag and just tell her to come back and give her whatever she wants. But then creatively, I think they missed a few beats here. That you had a chance to do something really fucking radical here and get back into the game with a swing, and they kind of didn't. Instead of like a good hard swing where you swing out of your fucking socks, they just kind of threw the bat at the ball and hoped it was going to land somewhere where a fielder wasn't. It was going to get him on base, to use the baseball parlance. So, and I thought it was disappointing, but they're open for other things, I guess, that can be done. Let's get into all the breakdown now. Let's start with Kevin Williamson being in total control. I'll go to you first, Tex. I know that you're going to have plenty to say about it. Writer, whatever, he did everything but act in the damn movie. I'm pretty sure he was the lead janitor as well at one point. He's one of the people that has been a creative force behind this franchise in the very beginning. I understand, and this, like I said, this needed to have some of that juice that the original had in order to get back on track. What do you think about the job he did with the film?
Yeah, Kevin, you can't not give him his credit for what he's done in the past with not just this franchise, but all the other stuff he's done in horror. But Kevin Williamson, great writer, but I think his style of writing kind of peaked with like the early Scream films. Yeah, I get it. It's meta. We're calling out AI in this one. What once was a groundbreaking thing with Scream of, we're going to comment on this and that. Now it's just used for a device that's whatever they want to fucking talk about. And Kevin Williamson, I think he's kind of became like a one-trick pony. And he's not a director. I'm sorry. He does not understand pacing at all whatsoever. Is there good writing in this? Sure. But without spoiling and getting into like the killer's motivation, this had the weakest of all killer's motivation that we've seen yet in a Scream film. And that's really saying something considering the killers that we had in Scream 6. Like that, that they made Richie's family in 6 look like Billy and Stu from 1. I love the main killer in this movie for the acting and the way that the actor did this, but the motivation in this film was nothing. And I just, Kevin Williamson, I think he needs to stay in his lane, and I think he was a bit overstretched on this one. But
I don't know, Jay. What do you think? What do you think about the role of Williamson in this film so far? Obviously, he's jumped right back into where he was in total control of this film after kind of the debacle that he was left with after the last film. How do you think he did?
Well, like we said, I couldn't tell you a single thing about Jenna Ortega or whoever the other nameless girl was, because I don't remember anything about it. Sure, and that being said, that I'm like, no, seriously, because I'm like, right, they were in the movie. Who were they? What did they do? One was related to fucking Billy, I think. Okay, anyway,
that was Melissa Barrera. Sam, that was Billy's daughter. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but it's just seemingly not there, and yet this still worked. And like I said, maybe it's in part to that it's kind of back to its roots with, like I said, with Neve Campbell and Courteney Cox's character, sans, one Dewey, because you kind of killed him. Can't really go back on that.
Should have been Gale, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. You could have kept the main three together at least, but at least juggling all of that, you still made something that like kind of made sense. To go from one to the other, because like I said, they dog on like the 6th movie so much in this, which is kind of hilarious to me. And as an aside, they had what better movie trailer to be shown before this than the new Scary Movie?
Oh my god, I can't.
They're a dogged on that too.
I can't.
Like, what's Jamie Lee Curtis with that Halloween? Like what's
Scream 6
without Scream? It's like, oh, that's Scream 6. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, we're taking shots, and I'm here for that. That's another thing that I'm watching people lose their damn mind over is Scary Movie. I'm like, wow, tell me you weren't alive when those movies came out without telling me you weren't alive for that kind of humor. So,
but I don't think we can hug because I'm a Republican now. Oh, it's okay. All white people are racist. Now I love that line. I cannot wait to see that movie.
When you think that's actually funny, I'm like, right, that's the damn point. Like, I don't think
he stabbed her. Get the right pronouns. I'm a they them. Oh my god, I lost it watching that shit. That was bad.
Yeah, that shit's gonna be funny. But yeah, it for someone who's juggling, like you said, juggling every damn job except for basically acting in this movie. I mean, not a bad run. Because like I said, I had more fun with this one than I did Scream 6. So
better movie.
I think this is what this movie and this franchise needed. It's like this is the focus, and like we said, the numbers show it that people actually turned up to see this, and and actually enjoyed it. Don't listen to critics; they don't know what they're talking about and what they're supposed to talk about in movies. So, go watch stuff for yourself. That's
critics never like slasher horror, anyways. So fuck them.
That too.
Yeah, the horror genre has always been very badly ignored by awards and shit like that. That's. I mean, I think that one of the reasons why Silence of the Lambs won all the awards that it did, it was not necessarily because it was a horror movie. They thought it was that good, but because you had a couple of people that have always been regular Oscar nominees anyway, and Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster. I mean, those it seemed like they were at that career where everything they did was getting Oscar buzz. But yeah, I like what he did for the most part with this movie. I'm looking back through his resume here. He's got a couple of things that I really, really like. I mean, he had two things that stick out to me. One is the movie The Faculty from '98, which is a really fun movie. Nice. It's goofy and stupid, but that's good because of Robert Rodriguez. That's not because of Kevin Williamson, though. But he wrote it though. So I mean,
but he didn't. But he didn't direct it, and that's kind of the point.
He did write it, which is that's where the main part of the storytelling comes in, is the writing. That's why I say writers are always way more important than singers when it comes to music. Writers are very, very important. You can write important words, and have really shitty actors go and fuck them up. He also wrote the original "I Know What You Did Last Summer," which I think I saw once, and it was a good. It's got a.
What following. Are you waiting for?
But he also wrote the series that was on Fox for a couple of years called The Following with Kevin Bacon. The first season of The Following is some of the best TV I've seen in the last 20 years. The second season was straight ass. I have no idea what happened to that show in between seasons. The second season was god awful. They got canceled after the second season. But the first season was phenomenally good. So he's got the chops to write. I don't mean, what has he directed? I don't know. Let me look at his...
He directed a movie a year or so ago that wasn't very good.
He directed Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which I never saw. 99 never interested me. He produced and wrote all the Scream movies, sure, whatever. Writing credits, Dawson's Creek, okay, popular show. Vampire Diaries, never watched. He did, I guess, the Scream TV show. He had some story consultation on, but not really anything else.
Yeah, that was rough.
But yeah, the only thing he directed other than the Scream 7 is this Teaching Miss Tingle, whatever the hell that is. I swear to God, it sounds like a porn movie. But
I don't search that. I feel like that's a trap.
And he was a producer on The Exorcism, that movie with Russell Crowe that I never got around to seeing. But I mean,
that one was good. I like that.
The guy knows how to tell a story, but I don't really know.
Well, okay. Here's the thing with it, though. He knows how to. If you comb through all of like the highlights that you just read off from Dawson's Creek to Vampire Diaries to the Scream stuff, it's very much in the teen kind of horror-esque mindset. That's where he works best. And I think maybe it didn't work as well with like this movie is, yeah, you've got Sidney in the movie, but she kind of really, she's the star of the film while she's a backup to everybody else. It's about the daughter. It's about the group of useless friends that they're just spamming a cabin, to use that old horror phrase, because they have zero plot armor whatsoever, and we need a body count. I don't think he really knows how to tell much outside of that kind of genre from teen to slasher. He kind of stays there, and he doesn't do well with the older characters, I don't think.
Yeah, real quick, because I want to apologize to Ghost. I don't check Stream Elements because we haven't had a donation in over a year, but I did just dig it up. He did throw us a couple of bucks last show. Said just want to show a little support for the channel. Hope to see you guys review Scream 7. Here we are at some point. Thanks for the content.
So, here we are, guys.
Yeah, I don't push the donations or anything much, except for at the bottom. If anybody wants to send something, they can. I used to have it up like during the show, so if something came up, then I would be able to read it. But it doesn't pop up on the screen here like it does if you go through Stream Labs, like Cronin, like Drew did and all that. I just found this easier to use. Hopefully, one of these days they'll put that on here, but no, they don't have it on here yet. But yeah. Thanks, Ghost. Appreciate it. And then Stuart says, teaching Miss Tingle, was that Katie Holmes, wasn't it? Yes, it was, in fact, Katie Holmes. I don't know who else was in it because I never got around to watching it, and I just didn't care. But
Dawson's Creek, that had what's his face that just died? James Vanderbilt. He was on that, wasn't he?
Teaching Miss Tingle, let's see, 1999 American teen black comedy thriller written and directed by Kevin Williamson. His directorial debut it's got Helen Mirren in it, so I mean that's something. Katie Holmes, Barry Watson, who was one of the guys from Seventh Heaven and something else, I forget. Marissa Coughlin, Jeffrey Tambor, who is now persona non grata. It follows a trio of high school students who must prove their innocence to their vindictive history teacher who accuses them of cheating on their final exams. Williamson wrote the script before his work on Scream and Dawson's Creek. Following the success of those projects, his script was picked up and production of the film proceeded. So Scream did well. So they were like, hey, what else do you got that we can work on and whatever?
Dude, after Scream 96 hit, Williamson, he was the new guy. Just look at how many Scream clones, from I Know What You Did Last Summer to Urban Legends to all of the other B versions of those stories that came out and still come out today because of what Williamson did. Like I said, I'm not discounting the work and the credit that he has done and deserves, but I don't think he needs to be in the director's chair. That's my only thing.
Or maybe he just needs more work. Maybe he just needs to kind of figure out how to put
that could be true. I mean, there's the
first couple of times you do something, you're not usually good at it. You know what I mean? You got to kind of figure it. You got to get your sea legs. You know what I mean?
Maybe not being in the spotlight of a Scream film of that may not be the project to learn on. That's go play in the minors before you go to the major league.
Well, I mean, he kind of did though. I mean, let's see. He directed Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which is his debut. Look, it's not like he hasn't been around. I mean, Scream may have been his first, but he's also been, I know, last summer, Scream 2. He was uncredited as a writer, but he was an executive producer on H2O. Then he did The Faculty that same year, which is a good movie. I like
Holy
H2O.
Shit.
Then Scream, and then Cursed. Then he did a movie called Venom, which I've never even heard of till right now. Couldn't tell you what it is. And a couple more Scream movies. Then a movie called Sick, which I think I've seen the poster. I've never seen the actual movie. And then
they even get an H2O moment in this movie too. That's funny.
But it's, I mean, whatever. We talked about this with Terrifier. We talked about this with Terrifier. It's like he got started out with the first Terrifier movie, which was really one-dimensional. And then he was like, oh, wait a minute, I have to do some other things to kind of expand the movie out. Then he comes out with Terrifier 2, which is 10 times better a movie. And a fantastic one. It's got all the blood and a much better story and much more fleshed out characters. It is a much more complete, fantastic film compared to the first one. So maybe he just needs to actually get in the director's chair a couple times and do it and kind of, like I said, get it sealed. But let's move on now to the cast, and obviously, the two big ones return. We have Neve Campbell comes back. They gave her some money to come back and do her thing after, whatever not paying her for the last one and trying to focus on the new girls, which ended up being a mistake. But I'll go to you first, Jeremy. What did you think of the cast of the film? Who stood out to you the most?
Well, like I said, this was better for having Neve Campbell actually in the movie, and again, then teaming up with Courteney Cox. So we got two of the OGs and the heavy hitters of this movie. And even though it's like it is kind of a weird nepotism thing, because like now we're also trying to focus on Sidney's daughter. I don't know if I feel like Sidney was like a background character. It's like, I mean, we're trying to also make time for the daughter and get her, you know, try to get her character arc going, because like with her being kind of overprotected by Sidney, I mean, all things considered, because obviously what she's been through, kind of trying to set her up as like a pseudo final girl, kind of having to go through the paces of being chased down by a Ghostface killer, or killers in this case, because everyone's a suspect, as we all know.
This is true.
Yeah. I think weren't the two camera crew people, like the camera dude and then the other reporter, weren't they in the last movie? I think.
Yeah, it's Chad and Mindy. That's Chad that was down on his knees getting stabbed like 8 fucking times in the chest repetitively, but somehow hit every major artery in his internals, but yet survived. But, you know, that was. And fuck like Mindy. Mindy is the niece of Randy that everybody fucking hates. I cannot stand Mindy. I hate her. God, she's.
At least they kind of shot her down like, okay, we're not doing the thing. We're not doing the rules thing. And then she's like, so anyway, we're going to do that. I don't know. I don't know if I remember her being that goddamn annoying, but like she was.
Oh, no. She was worse than 6. This is the better version. She was worse.
I already blocked it. Okay, well then I blocked it out because she annoyed the absolute shit out of me in this movie, because it's like my only character trait is I'm better than Courteney Cox. I'm like,
okay, well, I'll put it to you this way.
Every single line out of her mouth is "I'm the greatest it's ever been ever," and fuck all of you. I'm like, okay, do you have anything else to say? Because Jesus,
the character in the Scary Movie 6 trailer, the black girl that gets stabbed on the train that said, "Hey, that's the wrong pronouns." They based that character off of Mindy in 6. If that tells you anything, so
that's
yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, I'm going to enjoy a Scary Movie more than this probably. So. I mean, I'll actually get a laugh out of it. Yeah, so you kind of have some people from the last movie, but again, it's like they're like, yeah, but that's irrelevant. No one really cares. As for shit, I don't know even who really stands out. I mean, I guess I would say the girl who played Sidney's daughter. I mean, she was kind of cool. Like I said, it had the character arc of being someone who was, you know, typical teenage, you know, daughter trying to, you know, she's like, I don't know anything about my mom's past, like, you know, before I was even born, you know, that era of her life. And it's like everyone, you're so famous to everyone else knows you except for me, kind of thing. It's like, yeah, that kind of sucks. And then she kind of learns it the hard way and gets exposed to this kind of thing, because it always comes back for Sidney in some fashion. But yeah, and that's kind of what Sidney was there for, to kind of like guide her through that. I mean, with the, you know, modern technology of like, oh, I'm going to talk to you through the security system, whatever the fuck. There's a gun in my desk. Like, shoot this dude through the wall when he passes by the right part. Do I say it now? And does it even really count if it's not like actually Matthew Lillard? He's the best part of this movie, and he's not even like actually there.
I'm saving that because my pulpit is ready for my preaching on that fucking shit. What the fuck?
I will be right underneath holding that podium up because
God,
the actual hell.
They actually just dumped a bunch of new pictures on IMDb for this movie, and I'm as you guys are talking, I'm going through them. Trying to find
we can vet on that for a minute. I would say, like I said, it's because I'm like, my obvious
go
answer,
ahead, please go ahead.
Like, my obvious answer is Matthew Lillard, but I'm like,
yeah,
he's not even there. And I'm like, you even did the, you made
I
them all
do.
scarred
I do
up,
have
like,
a theory though. I do have a theory.
Save the theories because
theory.
Save the theories. I've got a section where we're going to talk a little bit about Matthew Lillard and the
Okay, well,
nature of his
we all
appearance.
had a theory, and this movie was like, wouldn't it be cool? And you're like, yeah, no. I'm like,
this isn't just a theory I made up of my own volition. There's actually facts behind this. But after the whole Melissa Barrera Free Palestine bullshit, they had to do a $500,000 rewrite on this movie. Okay. Stu had already been announced to be in this film at that point in time. If you look at the plot of this movie, it works perfect. Huh?
I mean, he was in the movie.
Well, you get what I'm saying. Okay, Matthew. Let me rephrase to be correct. Matthew Lillard had already been announced prior to those rewrites of him being in this film, right?
Yeah.
And this is just my own theory. I don't have any besides the script writing. I have no facts to back this up. But I believe the original script for this film was the AI was real, but Stu was still alive. And to add to that, Kevin Williamson came out a couple of days ago. They shot an ending for this movie that they tested where it was revealed at the end of this film that Stu was actually alive, but a group of 80 people in a test audience didn't like it as much. So I truly believe that I'm not saying the other killers weren't present, but I believe that the original writing of the first script of this film, that Stu was part of it. And depending on the whole John Doe story thing, you can easily write him into 8, and I think they better fucking do it because they pissed a lot of fucking people off with this, haha, fuck you, we're going to do it, but not really bullshit. Yeah. Fuck you, Paramount.
I think Ghost has a good comment here. That's kind of where I was going with it. Like, the AI was a cop-out, but did enjoy seeing him. That's probably the best part. Yeah,
it was great.
The best parts of a Scream movie, like I said, are obviously Sidney Prescott, and then even if it's Ghost Billy Loomis looking at you through your rearview mirror, I mean, sure. But it's also apparently now AI Matthew Lillard. But I don't know. See, yeah. I've you do you do AI as a plot point or just AI in general. I'm like, I'm already just like not interested.
Well, it's so lazy. It's so fucking lazy. Oh, it's the AI thing is just as lazy as a jump scare in horror films traditionally. It's the easy thing to go to now. That's my problem.
Uh-oh. Wrong Stu. We're not. Wrong.
I don't know. Did you get a TV dropped on your head in the 90s and you came back as an AI like person?
Well,
I don't know. If it is, then I see you.
Here's the thing with the Stu thing though, before we get on to the other characters. Okay. The one and only thing that the Scream franchise left to bank on is Stu, and they know it. That's why they keep baiting you and cock teasing you with it. What happens after you tease?
2 hours. What the hell was that about?
Paramount knows the minute they bring Stu back, they have no other cards left to play. It's over at that point. That's why they keep fucking teasing you with it, which makes no fucking sense. Why you would literally make fun of the people in this movie that are the Stu truthers and make fun of them as a plot point. That pissed me off. I'll be real honest with you. Oh, well, are you stupid enough to think he's still alive or yada, yada, whatever? That makes no sense. And if they don't bring Stu back in 8, I think it's over. Because I think a lot of people are getting tired of, they bullshit. And they're either going to pull the trigger or not. And to use an old phrase here, but shit or get off the pot at this point. Either do it or fucking don't.
Well, I mean,
the way they did, they may have already kind of screwed themselves because, like, you kind of hinted that corner you want to be in, but then it's like, well, now you're just doing it because you feel like you have to.
Maybe
they did, but with the John Doe story, that's the one out that they have.
That's the out.
And there's the John Doe story, and that theory my theory that I told you about a minute ago, why I say Stu was actually alive and helped them with this. Even if you have the technology to do AI of somebody, if you didn't know that person on a first name basis personally, how would you know their voice, the turn of phrases that they like to use, how they spoke? That's why I say Stu was originally alive and at least helping these people to do what they did. But since they chose how they went, they changed the script up. And with Kevin Williamson coming out saying what he did.
I also
let's go easy. Let's go with you on the Stu talk for right now. Like I said, that's going to be a topic later on before we go into
no, I've got.
We haven't even scratched it.
I have questions about
that's nothing. Yeah,
we can talk more about Stu specifically in a minute. Let me talk about the cast real quick. Number one, I agree with you guys. These two didn't need to be in the fucking movie. I don't even know why. They were only there to get stabbed. They were there to run up the body count, and the hell of it all, they didn't even die at the end of the movie.
Yep.
It's like he stabs 27 people in one shot at this bar, and like these two are the ones that live. Yeah. These two had absolutely no purpose in this movie at all. You could have put just cameraman 1 and producer 1 on the credits and put 2 schmuck actors in there, paid them a lot less, and you would have gotten the same results. I don't like these people at all. The one who really stands out to me is the girl that plays her daughter. She is Sidney. She could be the new Sidney if they don't fuck this up. The problem is, I think you kind of got yourself this shot with her in Sidney's jacket from the original movie.
Oh, that was great.
I thought that was fucking brilliant. I was like, give her some darker hair, and she is Sidney Prescott from 1996. Not just her daughter. She is Sidney Prescott.
Yeah.
I think she is the one who could potentially be the center of this franchise going forward, but you've got yourself painted into a corner. You've got your OG final girl there. You've got Sidney Prescott, who at this point, she has grown to be up there with any other final girl that you could put up there, the Jamie Lee Curtis's, the whatever. She's up there with all these final girls. You can't simply replace her at this point, even if it is with her own daughter, because she's withstood so much. Why would you try to replace Sidney at this point? So how do you work her daughter into kind of a main role while Sidney's still there without taking a lot of Sidney's thunder? I'll talk about the reveals real quick. The reveals were fucking awful. I hated the killers. Dude, seriously, what?
I hated too.
Why? I hated all 3 of them. Like, having the third killer was not the craziest thing in the world. Having him die 5 minutes into the movie was a bit odd. But I was like, okay, you got to give us a little bit of misdirection. You got to give us a head fake. But I was like, I was watching Night Watch. Him and his crew were talking about it a couple nights ago. And I went in there and said that this film, once again, gives me a big letdown when it comes to the reveal of the killers. And I think I finally figured out after I watched this movie what the problem is. The idea of everyone as a suspect means that I'm spending the entire movie trying to figure out how or why this person is the killer. So I'm already thinking they're the killer, so there's no surprise there. So when they finally rip the mask off, I'm like, I've been going for the last hour and a half thinking this person could be the killer anyway. You finally tell me they're the killer, and I'm like, okay, I need something shocking. And when we talk about Stu here in a minute, I'll go into exactly where they really badly missed this one. But again, a solid cast, again, with the exception of those 2 leftovers from the last one. Another thing is that's more of a plot thing we'll get into here in a minute. But I really like the cast overall, with the exception of the 2 carryovers that just didn't even need to be there.
I do want to give credit to Anna Camp as the main Ghostface, which her motivation I thought was fucking stupid. Oh, well, I read your book and I killed my husband. But Anna Camp in this movie, she killed her kid. That was her that did this in this movie. That's what I'm saying.
That's kind of hardcore, though.
That's my point. I loved how crazy she was in this movie. Like, the minute that the first Ghostface is hit by Gale in the van and whatever, that waste of a Ghostface, when we saw that guy for 2 seconds in the coffee shop. But the minute where Sidney walks up to Anna Camp and her son, and Sidney starts grilling him, hey, you know about AI, don't you? The second she started defending her son, I looked over at my kid, And I said, you watch her. I said, I started doing the, everybody's a suspect Randy moment. That's what I went into at that point in time. And we got so little. We got like less than 3 or 4 minutes of Anna Camp in this movie up until the final of it. I thought she was great. Now, I will say the H2O moment I was talking about, apparently Anna Camp, for being a tiny little thing that she is, doing the one-arm pull-up from the ceiling in the garage like Michael Myers in Halloween H2O to land behind Sidney. Holy crap. Like, I knew where they pulled that from. But I thought Anna Camp, as horrible as her motivation was of the why, how she did it, I thought was really cool. And the fact that she killed her own son because he was just as terrible as his father, that has to put her up into the stratosphere of best ghost faces. Like, that's some evil shit right there. I thought it was good.
I don't know.
The whole plot was just a fucking plot from Misery. She's like, I read your book and I'm a fan. I'm like, yeah, you took it.
Literally, she was a crazy broad that, was infatuated, and she wanted to recreate Sidney by, I don't know. The motivation was dumb, but the execution was worth mentioning because I thought it was really cool, like how Anna Camp did it.
Well, let's move on to the plot now, because there's still plenty of stuff that we have to talk about. We've already got Dr. Nick convinced that maybe he shouldn't go see the movie at all. Honestly, Nick, this is one of those ones where we're going to bitch a lot about it, but it wasn't a terrible movie.
You need to go see this one, Dr. Nick.
I still think the first film in this franchise is by far the best one. This film,
Three-quarters of this movie
this film probably comes in a second, but it's not a very close second, but it's second. And then maybe the last couple are in there somewhere, and then like 3 and 4. But
I'll get my ranking at the end.
But yeah, look, don't listen to us. We're dumb. We don't know what the fuck we're talking. We're just a couple of guys in here bloviating about movies on YouTube. Don't believe us.
Yeah, you speak for yourself. I consider myself the horror expert, sir. Thank you very much.
Go see the movie. Never listen to anybody else. Always go see the movie and judge it on your own accords. But let's get into the plot now, and I'll go to you first, Jeremy. Ghostface killer after Sidney. That's the plot of all the movies, except for the last one, of course. What do you think of the plot of the film? Is there anything you change, or did it work for you?
As I've probably said every single time you've asked me this question, I'm like, I think this one worked a lot better than the last one. Like I said, this is a little more return to form. Like I said, you have Sidney at least a little more front and center. Oh yeah, that right there, you can see that coming from a mile away when the couple's in the Airbnb at the Mocker recreation house, and they're talking about like, oh yeah,
that was Stu's house. That's actually his house.
Oh, I thought it was just an Airbnb and they recreated it.
No, they turned Stu's house into a B&B.
Like, wait, because like that badass shot right there, like the Mocker house being burnt down. I was like, that's a baller fucking move and a killer shot.
That was a huge move early in the movie. I was like, wow, okay, I'm with it.
No, that was the Mocker house.
And the guy's freaking out like, oh my God, it's like recreated perfectly. I was like, so it's a fake. And I was like, oh, so you burnt down a fake version of the house. I'm like, why do I care then? Well, then if that's the case, then why was that just kind of brushed under the rug? Like, oh, no one freaked out that the fucking Stu Mocker house got burnt down? There's no news on that? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't catch that apparently. I was just like, oh, that's a fake house. And like, I don't know why I really care then. But the chick going in there and they're talking about the girl who got like her face burned or where the fuck. She's like, oh, that'd be a terrible way. I'd hate to die. She's like, I'd hate to die like that. I'm like, you're literally going to get burned alive, aren't you?
Yeah.
I've seen a movie before. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I don't know if they just kind of, I've blocked out like the whole middle section of like, I remember the first movie because it was actually good. And then I'm like, I recently saw this, so it's still fresh in my mind. Yeah. But did we stop doing the like, hey, we should kill like a really big name actor in the very beginning because that's like our shtick because we did it with Drew Barrymore as like a head fake. I was like, stop doing that. I mean, I don't know who the hell these two people were. I mean, cool. Nameless kill for a cold open and then you walk off.
According to Kevin Williamson, after this movie came out, he revealed in an interview that after they had almost wrapped the film, they forgot to shoot an opening kill, so they just filmed this. And the girl that dies in this scene, she's the daughter. She plays the daughter on the show Landman, which is also owned by Paramount. So they pulled her and the other guy, filmed this scene. That's why it has little to no connection to the rest of the film. And that's out of Kevin Williamson's mouth. So, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
But getting to the, I guess, kind of back half of this, the part that lost me was the AI plot. And even, I mean, because it is too obvious now that I don't remember, again, I don't remember which damn movie did it. It's like, is like the boyfriend the obvious choice? Because obviously, in the very first movie, it was Billy Loomis, and they did that in one of the other ones.
Which time the boyfriend?
Like,
it's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, I called that. That's obvious. And I'm like, I think it's been obvious too many times, so they didn't do it. So the kind of hilarious, the thing that solidified it for me was like when she sees the AI crap on his computer and she like beats his fucking face in with it. I was like, oh, he's definitely not the killer then.
Oh,
that would be too obvious. Yeah, he got his shit rocked pretty hard. That whole, like I said, I thought if you are going to bring back, again, if you're going to bring back Sidney Prescott and Gil Weathers, and then you're like, yeah, and here's also Matthew Lillard. I'm like, okay, this could be really fucking cool. But then I'm like, how do you explain that? And I thought I almost called it Smith's Grove. Jesus Christ. The whatever psychiatric hospital he was in.
Basically Smith's Grove. It's a knockoff.
Yeah. Well, I already said they ripped off Misery a little bit, so whatever. I'll just play the classics. I thought that was a really interesting way to try to, like, make it make sense and justify it. That it's like he did come there sometime in the late 90s, and it would have made sense and that's how you get like, yeah, because I do love that moment of when they unmask dude in the street and they're just like, what the hell's that? I'm like, right, what? Oh, coffee shop dude who like glared at her for like 2 seconds, and I was like, okay. And I thought, well, are we breaking the rules? Because it has to be somebody that Sidney knows, or they know her for some reason. And at this point, I mean, who wouldn't know her? I mean, that's why I thought, okay, it just could be some random dude who hid in her attic for I don't know how long.
Yeah, good fucking job clearing the house, the whole police squad. Good fucking job.
Yeah, I was like, guys, you didn't even think to check the attic or a basement or anything. Come on.
Gigantic, like, entrance to an attic. Not one cop thought, hey, let's poke a head in a flashlight in there. Let's look around a bit.
Yeah, real easy, guys. Come on. And also, remember, this is the fucking Chief's house. You should maybe want to take a second look at every damn room. Like, come on, guys. You're really dropping.
Okay. That Sidney's house had cameras everywhere. You're telling me not one camera didn't catch anything?
Well, wasn't that what dude was doing? He was like looking. He's like, this guy had to have come in here at some point. He's looking through all the cameras.
Right. Like,
yeah, so how did that happen? You just never mentioned that again. I'm like, Sidney would have been smarter than that.
Because you need the plot armor. It's suspension of disbelief is what they're counting.
I know, Frank, but look at who you're talking to. I overthink stupid slasher movies and try to put logic where it doesn't fit. Everybody's a suspect, Frank. This is how these things work. My God.
I'm saying Sidney wouldn't have been like that dumb to have just missed that completely. So I don't know. But yeah, then like I said, basically blue balling me for like 2 hours of this movie, and then being like, and even when like they did the reveal of like the guy who was the fucking orderly or whoever the hell at the mental hospital, and he even like builds it up. He's like, "Isn't that right, Stu?" And I'm like, "Are we doing that?" Holy sh! I was excited. And they're like, and it's like, "Oh, it's the neighbor." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, neat, whatever." Then again, she just overacts the absolute fuck out of that scene. I'm like, I don't even get. And like I said, I'm like not even listening. Like I don't even care, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. I really don't. Whatever. Well, also the husband got stabbed like 30 goddamn times and he lived, so whatever.
Yeah. Apparently Sidney has a thing for cops named Mark because she's been with 2 of them now. So that's a plot point in Scream franchise as well. So go fucking figure.
If I had a nickel for time it happened, I'd have 2 nickels.
That's not a lot. It's weird it happened twice. Yeah, I want to say in Scream 5, she mentions her husband's name being Mark, but he's not in the movie. right?
Well, okay, but the other Mark that I'm talking about was from 3, and that was Kincaid, who they said later on that she ended up with. Now, Mark Evans, who was played by Joel McHale, which I thought he did really good in this movie. He's another sheriff, named Mark. So apparently white guys named Mark who were in law enforcement. Sidney Prescott, she's hurting for it. So look her up.
Look, I mean, you've got a serial killer that seems to pop up out of nowhere every years. Maybe marrying a cop is just not a bad way to go. I mean, a little bit of extra protection never hurt.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Neve Campbell has always been beautiful, but if Sidney Prescott was real, you stay as far away from her as humanly possible. You were going to die, and you know how. I'm just saying.
So, fucking AI aside, which I'm already again just not even interested. My point that I was gonna say later about plot is I'm like, okay, I thought it was interesting that every single time they were on this FaceTime with now we know fake Stumacher, he was like, hey, I'm at the high school, or he was like, hey, I'm at the bar. I'm like, how does he know where she's at every damn time? That's crazy. And I thought that's just insane. I'm like, I'll let it go because sure, we gotta keep the suspense going. But now knowing what I know, and again, me and Tex were saying, you think about it for more than a minute, you're like, wait. I'm like, maybe the mom, because I mean the son was in each of those places. Was he at the theater? Hold on.
The son.
Yeah. When he was outside the school, he said, "I'm outside the school" when she was supposed to be there, the rehearsal for the play.
Okay, because I'm like,
he was there. So was
how Duke they were at. Yeah.
Yeah. He was there. We see him briefly. We see the black girl in the costume room for a minute. Then we see Sidney. Yeah, they were all there. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm it had to have been the neighbor, not the orderly.
Yeah. Well, Mark says in that scene that the killer had to know the layout of this place, so they had to be local. So they kind of tease you a bit with that.
I'm just trying to make sure that it made sense, is what I'm saying. How he knew.
This is why I'm here to guide the slasher stream and paddle through all the nooks and crannies, because this is how my fucking brain works. So I got to be useful somewhere, right?
Well, go ahead and give me your thoughts on the plot, Tex. I mean, I know that you probably got plenty to say about this as well. Did it work for you, or what would you have changed?
Well, like I said earlier, I like the first 3/4 of this movie, not counting the useless Ghostface reveal, the stupid fucking AI plot that we've already gone over. I like this movie for a lot of the things that it does, but when it comes to the plot of it, that to me was one of the weaker elements, because, I was radicalized by your book, Sidney, so I killed my husband, and now I'm going to kill my son. I understand, okay, we're 7 movies deep into a Scream franchise that 6 of them have been based around, 5 of them fairly have been based around Sidney of some shape, form, or fashion, not counting 5 or 6 because those are on the bottom of the pile. But once you get to the 6th movie in that, you start running out of people that's close to Sidney who it could be, because let's be honest, Courteney Cox, she already looks like Ghostface without wearing a mask. She's had her face pulled so tight at this point. It's not Gail. We did not need Courteney Cox in this movie. We did not need Chad and Mindy. They were literally, they're in the franchise too. The AI thing sucked. It was a cock tease to have Stu kind of. That was the negative. But the plot is the weakest thing about this movie. Well, where this movie thrives is character moments, kills, the gore that we do get. I like those elements. The plot to me is the weakest and the most glaring issue, because like I said, I think Kevin Williamson kind of overreached, and maybe if he had stuck to the writing, he could have came up with a better idea. But the fact that they did that big rewrite prior to shooting, I think that may have been where they messed up. So I'd love to see the original script of what they had planned, because apparently Sam Melissa Barrero was going to go full on Ghostface and kill Jenna Ortega or some shit, but who fucking knows? But the plot that they went with is very weak, and it could have been better. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, look, the plot of all these movies is essentially the same when you boil it down. Somebody's trying to kill Sidney. Okay,
right.
Except for the last movie where Sidney wasn't around, so they're trying to kill the other two girls. But yeah, I think one of the things that really set this franchise really badly off track is Sidney not being in the last one. Not having her around made that movie feel very badly incomplete. And let's face it, Jenna Ortega, for as popular as she's gotten for Wednesday and shit like that, is whatever. Sarah Brea is a decent actress. She can't carry this franchise the way Neve Campbell can. I don't think she ever really could. Probably a blessing in disguise that you sent those two packing and got back to the original characters. But plot wise, you had to do something kind of wild in order to bring people back, because there were so many people that were mad about some characters not returning. So many people that are like, whatever, the whole thing's getting kind of stale. So you had to do something wild. They got right up to the cusp of what they should have done and then didn't do it. Plot-wise, bringing Stu back was good. I mean, you already kind of had the precedent anyway by bringing Skeet Ulrich back, by bringing him back. So, granted, not bringing him back, but he's the whatever vision that's talking to his daughter.
He was
whatever. He was the conscience or whatever. Yeah. But I mean,
he was in his daughter's head, basically.
Yeah, that was the precedent. So whatever. So now you've set the precedence to bring some people back. So bringing Stu back was the next logical thing. The problem is you actually have some angles where you can bring Stu back in the flesh, and I really thought that's what they might do for this. And I thought that right up until the first phone call that Sidney gets, and he pops up on the screen, and I was like, this is way too early to have that reveal. That reveal can't happen right now. There's something about this that isn't right. And I had heard a little bit going into the film that they were going to utilize AI, because one thing this franchise has always done is try to stay modern, and I respect that. They've tried to stay modern, and AI is a thing now, and it's not going anywhere, so you may as well use it as a plot point. And, when
it's so lazy, though.
As soon as but you know what, though? That's one of the things this franchise does is they try to stay modern. It's like when they first brought back Scream, and then instead they had that kind of like shot for shot remake, a little bit of the very first movie where Drew Barrymore gets killed. Now they've got like Bluetooth controlled locks and shit like that, and they're kind of like dueling, locking and unlocking them. That modernized it for that moment. I was like, okay, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to stay with the present. I get it, and they tried to do it in this movie with using AI as a plot device. And that's fine. I don't mind them doing it. But they could have used that plot device to head fake you and make you think that Stu isn't alive, and actually make Stu alive, because there's always been this thing out there since the first movie came out. You never see his body getting carted off. Okay, so somebody dropped a TV on his head. It doesn't mean he died. I mean, you saw Billy act. So there's always been that thing out there. And so why not use that? You've got that little crack in the defense. Why not run right through it and blow open just really blow it up, big play, go all the way? And they didn't quite do it. I don't know if it's they didn't want to. I don't know if they have future plans, because it's already been said that the 8th film has been greenlit. Yeah. It's coming, and even if it hasn't been greenlit, they're already essentially working on it. It's already essentially in pre-production.
Apparently, so from what I've read, Scream 8 shoots this fall.
Yeah, I you know what, I would have, because of all the negative shit surrounding this film off camera, I think he needed to go for a big swing, and they just didn't. I feel like they wanted to, and they just didn't.
Matthew Lillard is like really popular. He's having kind of a weird like renaissance in his acting career, and I'm like, yeah, why didn't you use him? I knew you used him because he filmed stuff, but I'm like, but you didn't actually make him there. I don't mind the early like drop of like, hey, he's on the phone, like, hey, Sidney,
because
that gives you the seeds of doubt where they're like, well, could he be? And they're like, well, it could be fake, it could be AI, it could be something.
I got really excited when they went to that mental institution, and she says, have you seen this guy? He goes, oh yeah, that's Joe, or whatever the hell they called him. And I was,
he meets
John.
What? Fuck, when that scene happened, because I was like, you just told me he's alive. I am so fucking for it. That's what I wanted.
No.
That's everything I wanted them to do
like
with this movie. it's everything I wanted to do with this movie, and then just to find out he was AI, I was like, oh, now and then once you finally get the reveal, I'm like, it's not Stu. I don't care now. You were teasing me with Stu, and I get it, and now I've got to deal with this fucking orderly who was in the movie for all of 15 fucking seconds trying to explain some bullshit to me, and Anna Camp, who I kind of saw coming anyway, and God, do I hate the way her son looks in this picture. He looks like fucking one of the gay vampires from fucking Twilight, but. And I like that actor, by the way. He's in The Boys and Gen V. He's actually really cool in that series. He wasn't really that good in this movie, in my opinion, but whatever. But it's just I don't know. There's so much.
It almost looks like the handsome Squidward for all my millennials out there. You know,
they were edging me with what I really wanted this entire fucking movie just to pull it back, and then everything after that, I was just like, I'm not impressed now. I just don't care.
There's one thing.
I'm like, how do you not know that that's not what people want? And you're just like, yeah, what if we didn't do that? I'm like, well, then you're shooting yourself in the fucking foot. What are you doing?
There's one thing. Let's say they did it. They made every choice the same in this movie, except for one. I would have included a post-credit scene of Sidney. Okay, the movie is over, right? And we see Sidney's phone laying on the ground. And the last call that she got from Stu prior to the ending, somehow that phone call is still active. And we see AI Stu on the screen talking, but we know all the Ghostface killers are dead. We already knew going into this we're getting a Scream 8. And they could have saved the plot of this movie with the whole John Doe story plot line that they went through. If in that last AI call that I'm talking about, in a end credit scene or whatever, have Stu, see you next time, Sid, and he drops the phone and walks off. Now we don't know if that's a recorded AI. Is that Stu himself? Because I do believe he is going to come back. I think Paramount's going to pull that card because they have no other cards left in the deck. The only way this plot they can save the. Oh no, I'm not saying it won't feel cheaper. Like I said earlier, I think Stu was alive for the original writing of this film. It can be saved, but the plot really was weak in this because they relied on cheap, stupid AI stuff that everybody and their dog could do. And I know why they did it. It just felt lazy, and I didn't like it.
I think a better way to do this would have been like to build on what you said there. If there was going to be an after credit scene, like Sidney could have put her like after we know, like, what's her nuts got her face turned into fucking Swiss cheese, which was kind of awesome.
Holy shit, yeah.
And I mean, Sidney Han Solo'd the orderly in no time. I'm like, all right, cool. But I like we now know that, I mean, like all three of the so-called killers were dead in this movie. If like they go home, they're like, okay, it's all over now, whatever. Sydney sets her phone down on the bedside table, whatever the fuck. And you see it light up and it says Woodsboro, California again. And you're like, oh shit. And then you just hear, I mean, I'm just saying it could have just gone to a voicemail, and then you hear Stu actually say like, don't worry, Sidney, I'll be right back. And then it hangs up. That could have been it.
Yeah. The problem with that though is you're giving away too much of a spoiler for what's next. Because
now we don't have a choice. That's what we've been saying. Like,
here's the problem. They do have a choice. I just think it's likely they're going to make the wrong choice. That's the problem.
Well,
they're not going
to
bring all the way back in the next movie. They're going to decide to have it be two other fucksticks, probably some janitor that's standing in the background of some shot for 5 seconds. He's going to be the killer, and then one other person who read Sydney's book and some bullshit, or maybe her daughter writes a book this time, and somebody wrote her book, or whatever bullshit. I mean, the motivations for the killers have been dumb since the first movie, but what would have been cool
there is one thing.
Hold on, if you were going to commit to bringing Stu back, the best post-credit scene, instead of that stupid mid-credit scene that we got with these two fucksticks that I never want to see in a Scream movie ever again. Yeah. It would have been Sidney Sidney puts her phone down and walks away, and then a text message pops up and says, I still have a thing for you, Sid. And that's where it ends. If you were going to commit to bringing Stu back, the problem is they probably don't know if they're going to or not. And so they've given themselves this option of, okay, we can bring Stu back. Because like I said, you're a line of dialogue away from explaining anything you want anybody you want to bring back, any bullshit thing you want to do. You're a line of dialogue away from explaining the whole thing. What they've got to do is they've got to decide, do we want to commit to this or not? And they're not going to, because committing to it would be the best choice. Bringing Stu all the way back would be the best choice for this franchise. I guarantee they're not going to fucking do it. I guarantee
the chance because you did it in this one.
Generic fucking killers.
I think
nothing, and that's going to be like, and that's going to be the part where I'm like, okay, I'm checking out a Scream altogether.
They did their line of dialogue explaining it because, like you said, I mean, my jaw dropped when like she showed the phone to the orderly. He immediately was like, "That's John." I was like, "How the fuck do you know that?" Because I'm like, "No, we're not breaking the rule." He did know him, and that's the connection of like, he probably knew who Sidney was, but like that's the connections that he knew Stu, who obviously, as we know Sidney. I'm like, well, oh shit. That was interesting as hell. I'm like, that was a cool plot point. And then they're like, no, screw you. You don't get to have that.
Plot wise, how did the killers even know that Sidney and Gail were going to drive apparently 3 hours away to wherever the hell this psychiatric institute is to even go looking for?
Is that Frank, the thing where it's like, that's really convenient if that worked?
No, see, Frank just asked a text question where Frank would normally say, "You're putting logic where it doesn't belong, and you shouldn't do that, Frank." So I'm
doing that thing where you're trying to make sense. Now quit that.
Yeah, but the story has to make sense. I mean, the step by step of the story needs to make sense.
Okay,
I don't give a fuck if it's aliens. If you want to make the killers aliens from fucking Xanadu or whatever, I don't give a shit. But it's got to make sense in the context of the story.
They're really calling that bluff that they were going to go there. That is a good point. Like
they did that.
Speak that out. Yeah,
they did that because ever since Scream 3, Scream has become live action human Scooby-Doo, and that's what they would do in a Scooby-Doo episode. They would go to the creepy place to find out.
Well, they've got Shaggy.
That's right. Well, literally, ever since Scream 3, it became, the Scooby-Doo franchise minus the dog.
Well,
and that's what they would do in one of those episodes.
You know what? Maybe Stu Macher is living in a van down by the river with his Great Dane and having a good life. I don't know. Maybe
or he could be hanging out in a giant yellow rabbit suit and killing children.
He's still rotting away somewhere from killing a bunch of kids. I know.
Yeah. Matthew Lillard is rocking it. He's playing a dead guy in 2 different franchises right now and getting paid for both of them. He's got the dream going. But I was going to say,
it's more believable that he comes back in Five Nights, and that doesn't make any damn sense at all.
I do think I know how Stu will survive in this franchise, and he won't actually be alive. Notice how little we got of the Roger Jackson Ghostface voice in this film. They used Stu's voice in this movie, right? I could very easily see Paramount going forward saying, hey, people want Stu around, right? Well, why don't we just give every Ghostface Stu's voice? Well, we may not have to AI see him in the next movie, but on that voice changer, it's Stu's voice coming out of it instead of Roger Jackson. Which I don't want this because I love Roger Jackson's Ghostface voice. But that's something I could see them doing without going, oh, yeah, Stu's been alive the whole time. You just haven't seen him. You still get him, kind of like how Five Nights is using him. I could see them doing something like that as well.
That'd be a way to screw with them because if every single one of them sounds like him, that'd be.
You can't lose that voice though. It's become iconic.
I know. I don't want this to happen.
Scary movie.
The real diehard fans would lose their shit, and then you would not just have the people who want to boycott it for Sarah Bareilles. You would have the people who want to boycott it because you're not going to get that iconic voice anymore.
I'm not saying. Well, go back to something you said a minute ago, Frank. How often do they make the wrong choices? People love Matthew Lillard, right? I could see them making that choice. Some executive who doesn't even know the franchise going, oh, they like that guy. He talks like Ghostface now. Or Ghostface talks like him now. I could see them making that move.
I thought that was going to be another really cool plot point that he even, was like just being that ballsy. He was like, oh, I'm not even going to hide, Sidney. I'm going to be right in your fucking face. I'm like, oh, that's
right.
Oh, damn. I was like, if we're going to see that kind of Stu where he's like, I don't care if I show my face. I'll call you directly. I don't care. I'm like, damn, that's insane. Too bad it wasn't real.
Now, when in Scream 25, are we going to have virtual reality ghost faces? Are they going to have that in the future since we have AI ghost faces?
I don't know. I won't be watching come 25. I will completely fucking checked out of this.
It's gonna be like the game Among Us. Like we're just trying to figure out which one is the imposter, which one's the killer, and we're gonna take them out into space. Wait, Scream hasn't gone to space yet. Maybe that's next. I don't fucking know.
If they go to space, I'm walking out of the fucking theater. I'm gonna be like, that's it. You keep my money.
Ghost gonna move out. Well, Frank's gonna move out of there.
So out.
That would help Ghostface from tripping over everything like he always does in every movie. He just float, like he just float everywhere. So, that could help out. But, hey,
flies across space with a knife, like. Ooh.
I would 100% get up and walk out of the fucking theater. Let me get your guys' official predictions, though. I'll go to you first, Jeremy. Is Stu coming back at some point in the future? Like all the way back?
Look, I've with like many people have wanted that to happen, and I'm like, because you did kind of leave that plot point open. And after all this time, I thought, okay, and especially now, like I said, with Matthew Lillard being he's always been beloved, but like I said, he's kind of having this kind of resurgence in his career. And I thought, damn, this would be the time to capitalize on it. And I'm just saying, I feel like you missed the fucking mark, because now, like we've been saying, it's like now you're kind of in a corner, and I don't know. I think you went for the shot, and the fucking full court shot, and you missed it by a mile. Like, so do I think he's coming back? I think you missed your chance to. I was hoping he did, but I don't, because like we said, that's the right choice, and I'd want that to be the case. But now it's just gonna be a weird taste in everyone's mouth for like, yeah, but it's like you should have done that then, and that's all everyone's gonna talk about. So I don't think they'll do it now. I don't know. I got an AI rug pulled out from underneath me, and that pisses me off.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't think that Matthew Lillard's really had a down part in his career. He stayed pretty fucking active. He just hasn't been in huge movies.
Well, that's what I mean. He's in more popular things, like I said, like with Five Nights at Freddy's, like with now with this next. Well, he was kind of there in Scream 7, but was he though?
He's done a lot of voice stuff, obviously a lot of Scooby-Doo voice stuff, but I mean,
he pretty much took over the Shaggy role since what? When did that live action? What, like 2003 or 4? When that? Yeah, I mean, he's been he is just as famous for Shaggy as he is Ghostface.
Yeah,
he's done some stuff. Batman. Oh, of course, he did the Shaggy voice in Batman.
Yeah.
Look at some of the TV stuff. I mean, he was in the FBI show, which I never watched. It's more Scooby-Doo.
It's just gonna be Scooby-Doo.
Oh, he is gonna be in season 2 of Daredevil.
Oh, damn. Cool.
Well, you see what I mean? He's in these things that like people they recognize these IPs.
That's what I'm saying.
He is also currently filming a TV version of Carrie.
Another one?
Okay.
Really?
Do we need another version of Carrie though?
If it's good, I mean, why not?
Yeah. I saw the other day, they're like, hey, the chick who was Supergirl in that Flash movie, she's going to be in the new Exorcist movie. I'm like, we're making another Exorcist? Why?
Because reasons. I don't know. I guess Scarlett Johansson's going to be in it, and they just cast
ScarJo, fucking
John Leguizamo. The Pest is going to be in it, so. Which means I'm probably not going to see it unless it comes up on one of the free streamers, because I have no interest in watching John Leguizamo in anything but The Pest, which I still think is the funniest movies ever made.
Well,
that's something I'll give. That's something I'll give the 90s. That movie is fucking hilarious.
You don't like the 1993 masterpiece that is called the Super Mario Brothers movie?
No.
According to John Leguizamo's recent comments, you can only play a role if you fit that exact, nationality, so, even though John Leguizamo played an Italian plumber, which he's clearly not, he is what he is. So, fuck that guy. He's not doing great right now.
Bottom line is I ain't watching it. Let's Let's go ahead and go to some trivia now as I find my things. I managed to find some decent trivia on this, considering the movie is very, very new. But, obviously, the only people that have been in all of these Scream movies are now Courteney Cox and Roger L. Jackson, who does the voice of Ghostface on the phone.
Yep.
Only actors to be in all.
And they barely used him in this one, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing I did notice about this movie is they did underuse some stuff that they could have used better. One was the voice, but I understand that they had to make some room for the AI stew stuff. So, they use the voice as much as they could, and also use the AI stuff. The other thing I didn't quite understand why they pretty much eliminated Gail from the end of the movie. They
could have went this whole movie without Gail. We didn't need her. She shouldn't have been in it.
I feel like that. Like, if there is a dynamic duo in this franchise, it's Sidney and Gail. And the fact the fact that Sidney pretty much just kind of leaves her at the TV station, and it's not like she wasn't significant for a good part of this movie. I mean, I thought it was really interesting that Sidney looks at her at one point and says, "I'm going to give you that one thing you've been asking me for since 1996, an interview." And I was just like, "That's a really cool way of like completing a circle." I was like, "That's interesting." Only to be left behind and abandoned when we're going for the final showdown with Ghostface, because let's face it, I mean, Sidney's the final girl, but if there is a B-level final girl in this franchise, it's Gail, and I feel like she's been around for every other final fight with Ghostface. Why not have her play some kind of a part? But the fact that she's kind of absent, I thought was weird. There was something that was missing for me.
Well, she even said that, she's like, "Thanks for ditching me, man." I was like, "All right."
Well, they even summed it up whenever Gail asked Sidney about, how would she describe their relationship in this movie? She says it's complicated. Gail's always been out for herself. At the beginning of every film, she's always about the story. I believe it was in 6 where they kind of, it was when Gail was on the phone with Ghostface, and it was one of the characters basically outs Gail saying, well, without Ghostface, you're irrelevant. I mean, we see what her career is in this movie. She's trying to rebrand and redo herself. Sidney and Gail aren't like best friends. Gail got famous off of, going all the way back to Scream 1. Sidney knocked her ass out because Gail got rich and famous off of Maureen Prescott, Sidney's mother's death. So I wouldn't go anywhere near calling them best friends. Yeah, they're friendly toward each other, but you see they don't keep in touch on a regular basis. Sidney's surprised to see her. Now, do they care for each other? Sure, because like Gail heard about the Ghostface stuff in Woodsboro, her Sidney alarm went off, so she rushed down to Indiana or wherever, Illinois, whatever it was. And yeah, they care for one another, but Gail is still that optimistic, predatory type of, there's a story here and I can make my name on this, because that's just who Gail is. Go back to Scream 5 when Dewey, prior to his death, he calls Gail out for being as shallow as she is. It's just, that's who Gail is.
They are forever intertwined.
Now.
Do what?
Wasn't what the other reporter chick, isn't that just kind of how she's acting now?
Who, Mindy? Yeah. Mindy is.
I don't even know her name because I don't even care.
Mindy is a hybrid of Randy. They basically took the smarts of Randy and put it in a feminist lesbian who thinks she's smarter than everybody else. Seriously, that's what it is. And Mindy is just, nobody likes her. So many people won't like.
It would be funny because she's annoying.
It was funny when Randy did it. It's not funny when she does it because she's got a bitch face, I guess is the easiest way to put it. And nobody likes her. She's not the new Gail. she's not going to replace her as the new Gale. It's never going to happen. People don't like her.
She's going to do. That's what I mean. That's why I was like,
they may try it. They may try it, but it's not going to work. Mindy is just, she's a bitch. I mean, bottom line, and not the kind that you love like Courteney Cox. She's just a bitch. So, fuck her.
Let's see. Neve Campbell. Let me bring up the star of the show here. Neve Campbell actually made $7 million for this film. That's the biggest salary of her career. And to be perfectly honest, she could have demanded three times that much. She could have demanded 3 times that much and got it. And she should have, in my opinion.
Considering how they screwed her around on Scream 6 by, we don't really need you, so here's just penance. They were trying to, make up for that. But yeah, I agree. She deserved every dime. Even though I still think Sidney was, I guess, okay, I will revise. She wasn't a background character. She was more of a plot device in this movie, whereas in the early Scream film, she was more of a star. But hey, get your money, Neve Campbell. Why not?
Yeah, she should have and could have gotten paid 3 times as much. If I were her, I even would have said, "Hey, I want some creative control in this. I want to be one of the people who dictates where my character goes."
Wasn't she one of the producers of this movie?
Yeah, but a production credit's really nothing. I mean,
according to Kevin Williamson, the idea for Scream 8 was pitched directly from Neve Campbell herself. So she might get that executive producer role or, story credit or who knows.
Yeah, production credits are really funny. You could do almost nothing. And like if I made a movie and put all this work into it or whatever, and I said, "Hey, Jeremy, can you run over to Kinko's and get the poster that I just printed up?" I'll give you a production credit. And that's how you get your production credit.
If Paramount,
didn't do anything in this movie though, like.
True. Well, I mean, from a production standpoint, I don't know what kind of production input she had. No, I'm sure she probably had some. I mean, she's been around this franchise in the beginning. But
if Paramount had balls, they would make Neve Campbell the opening kill of Scream 8 and have Matthew Lillard rip off the mask, say, "I always had a thing for you, Sid, and here it is." He pulls off his mask, stabs her in the throat, kills her, however they do it, and then for the rest of the movie, we know that Matthew Lillard Stu is alive and on the loose because the whole whodunit doesn't work anymore. No, they don't need to go. That's what I would do.
You killed the whole point. He killed Sidney. It's like, well, now
Sidney's the point.
No, because here's the thing. What Scream 7 was a redo of Scream 4, where in Scream 4 they went to Jill's niece, right? This one, now it's Sidney's daughter. We now have our next generation. I guarantee you, Scream 8 will be in college, just like Scream 2.
You cannot have Neve Campbell die in the first 10 minutes of the movie. If she dies heroically at the end, that might be a little different. But you can't have her so unceremoniously done away like fucking Drew Barrymore.
What was Scream 1 based around? Drew Barrymore was the star. They killed her off in the first 5 minutes.
Drew Barrymore was there for brand recognition. She was not there to star in that movie. If she was there to star, she would live through the first 15 minutes.
If I were directing it, I would kill off Neve Campbell in the opening scene. I would shock the world.
The problem is you've got now 6 or 7, however you want to look at it, films of Neve Campbell being the star. You can't kill your star easily. Look at how Star Wars suffered after Carrie Fisher wasn't there. They had to go through extreme measures.
Well,
not horror, I know, but I mean, you can't lose one of your franchise stars like that and just be able to and have people not care or just be like, "Oh, well, okay, she's dead." There's no way.
That's a little different. She died in real life. I mean, if you want to talk about like Han Solo dying, your character is dead.
It's a comparison because you can't lose your franchise star. You're talking about Scream 1. There was no franchise yet. You didn't know if there was going to be a Scream 2. You shot that movie not knowing if you were ever going to get these people together again. Well, killing Drew Barrymore, who was only there for name recognition anyway. And let's face it, that's why Mckenna Grace was in this movie. That's why we got this badass scene right here, was because she wasn't in here to carry the movie. She was in here because her name recognition for some of the stuff she's been in lately. That's why she was there. She wasn't the star of the movie.
That was a fun kill.
Campbell is the star of this franchise. You cannot have her die. I'll even give you a Halloween example. After H2O, the Halloween movie that came out after that, where
Resurrection.
The Resurrection, where Jamie Lee Curtis's character is in the loony bin and she dies like in the first 15 minutes of the movie. And dude, that's the one movie where I know a lot of people are like really big horror fans and are like, that's where they lost me. I didn't watch their Halloween movie.
Well, the difference in that is the ending. Okay, whenever the Accods came to Jamie Lee Curtis, fuck that one. Sorry, I have to contractually do that anytime her name is mentioned. What happens at the end of H2O? She cuts Michael's head off, with that axe, right? Well, oh, hey, we're going to make another one. The reason why they kill off Jamie Lee Curtis at the beginning of that one was because she insisted upon it because she wanted out. That's why Jamie Lee Curtis dies at the beginning. Now, Halloween Resurrection, y'all know me. I've got Michael Myers right here on the wall. I love the Halloween franchise. I do not own a physical copy of Halloween Resurrection. When I bought the box set, I threw out Resurrection because that movie is garbage. But even that said, compare the Sidney example of Scream and the Halloween H2O and Resurrection version of Laurie here. I think the reason why it could work is you don't just have Stu kill Sidney by himself. You have him do it in front of the daughter. You have the daughter literally there because Scream 7 was the passing of the torch film. This is why Sidney was in the backup role to the daughter. This was the Halloween 2018 Halloween Kills kind of scene is what this was. And if you really want this daughter to take this franchise, it is possible, but you're going to have to take drastic measures, take a chance. Yes, it's going to piss off a lot of the Sidney lovers that she dies. But if you want Scream to go on in the same timeline, she has to die. Because as long as she is there, it's not going to work.
I would rather them completely reboot this franchise than to kill Sidney and start over.
Well, and then that makes way more sense. I don't understand the people. Oh well, Sidney's got to have a happy ending. Why? It's a slasher franchise.
I'm not saying she has to have a happy ending. I'm saying that.
Oh no, I'm not saying you.
Start over again.
But so many people are just hooked into this. Oh, nothing bad can happen to Sidney. She can't die. Well, and this is the same problem I have with Chad and Mindy in this movie. They have so much plot armor, you're never scared for them. They get slashed one time and Ghostface runs off to do something else. If you want to go back and really do something big, and I mean have balls the size of Texas, you got to kill Sidney in a dramatic way, have the daughter there to be present, take part in it, and that transfer of power goes over to her is the only way to do it. That's how I would open Scream.
It is weird that these killers didn't seem to care about who, they had all of them stuck in that bar there and they didn't even try to kill the two. Shit mixes. He says, I'm like, there's something there then, because I'm like, why did they go out of their way to really kill everyone else in that bar? And then we're just like, oh, I'm going to slash her once. I'm going to run off into the night. Like,
yeah.
Did you get bored? Like,
yeah, it was very, well, that goes back to that pacing I was talking about earlier. That's what that was.
Well, do I say the controversial thing?
What?
I'm I'm gonna light that fucking fire in Texas ass. It's gonna be funny as hell. Because you mentioned you watched the movie and you mentioned it to us, you're like, oh, this movie deserves. It's got Halloween ends.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. I'm going to tell you right now that Halloween Ends is a better movie than this because at least Michael and Laurie actually had a fucking fight. Stu and
I agree to that.
I'm like, that's a really shitty thing to say, but
at least a better ending, though. That's a better ending, sure. Finally,
I'm like, they at least actually fought and had an ending. I'm like, yeah, but Stu and Sidney did not. So I'm like, that sucks.
Well, here's the difference, though. Halloween Ends was the end of that story. 7 was a restart for a new at least 1 or 2 films. So you have to look at them differently. You know what I'm saying?
They're on 7, but goddamn it, if 10 isn't in space, I'm just saying, you're right there.
Now, in Scream X, are we going to have a Ghostface mask shaped space helmet? Because I will buy one of those. Like, you make that merch, I'm buying.
You better have Uber Ghostface. I don't even care how you do
The,
it.
the popcorn bucket, the designs of the popcorn bucket would be a lot of fun, but I would probably not bother going to see that movie. I might get the popcorn bucket. An astronaut helmet with the fake, that's a cool look, but I would not go see that movie at all. But moving on to the last couple of pieces of trivia I got. Let's see. This will be sad to think about it because it feels like he's been gone forever, but not gone for very long at all. This is only the third Scream movie not directed by Wes Craven since he passed away in 2015.
Yeah, R.I.P. to one of the great. I mean, besides John Carpenter, maybe the greatest horror director of all time. And you can see Scream 4 was his last Scream movie, and Scream 4 is my second favorite of the franchise. And you can significantly feel the difference in a Wes Cravenless Scream film since 5. Like, it feels like they can emulate, but they can never recreate that feel of what Craven brought to the thing.
But with the power of AI, now you can.
Hey, you know what? Since we're talking about this movie, that is a fair point, Graham. I will give you that much. Like, that is a fair point to bring up.
So unfortunately, the fucking look. Of all the damn characters, that's why I picked that from. I don't remember if that's exactly what he said, but the creepy son, he's like, yeah, I think AI is the death of humanity, and I was very like, oh, you're not the killer then. Like that. That's what kind of cemented that for me. I was like, yeah, it's not. It can't be him. It's too easy.
I actually sat down in the theater with my girlfriend. I was like, I'm not even gonna try to figure out who the fucking killer is. They're gonna disappoint me with it anyway. I'm just gonna let it hit me. And as the movie was going on, I was like, okay, this guy's saying shit. It's making him look suspect. Everybody's making him look suspect. And then then I got the reveal, and I was like, yeah, that's where here we are again.
I called out two of the three killers. I called out Anna Camp and the bald guy at the hospital. The third dude that bought a coffee we saw for 10 seconds, I thought that was a cheap red herring fake out. I did get 2 out of 3 right.
So did I. When he gets run over by Gale, I was just like, and they reveal him. I'm like, why? I'm like, what? That was just another body. That was just another body that they threw. Now, okay, here's a question I'll ask y'all because I've been debating this in my head. Which one of the ghost faces burned down Stu's house in the beginning? Who do y'all think it was? Doesn't matter. Who cares? I don't give a shit about any of the killers.
Because in my head,
it had to have been the neighbor. I don't know what the orderly was doing. So,
well, I mean, because we get so little of the killers in this movie, it's very open to speculation. In my head, it was Anna Camp because she wanted Sidney to think Stu was alive, and she was the main one, right? But I don't know. Like, it could very just as easily have been well, I called him the crazy Ralph of this movie, the orderly guy who tells you the story instead of don't go in those woods. He's telling you about John Doe. But I don't like. I think it was the Anna Camp, but I mean, we'll never find out until they tell us. I guess. But I don't know.
I don't think it really matters. I mean, as cool of a scene as it was, as cool as a visual as it was, I don't think it really matters. I still think. I think Jerry brought it up earlier. It's because Woodsboro's in California. This movie takes place in Indiana, so they drove their happy ass all the way to fucking California to murder 2 people at a house and burn it down.
Hey, but when
they go back.
And narratively, I thought it was interesting thing to do narratively because I kind of thought it was Williamson's way of saying, burn down everything you think you know about the franchise to this point. Here's something.
Oh, it was very symbolic. Yeah,
and I did like the symbolism of that whole scene. So while I wasn't overly impressed with the murders of the first 2, I was like the idea of burning down the house where this all began in the first few minutes of the movie. I thought was pretty ballsy. I was like, okay, you're poking me in the chest and let me know something's coming. Okay, I'm with it. And then they gave me 2 more not very important killers, but in the months before. I'll go to this one because it's a cool picture. In the months before the film's release, a Twitter user leaked what appeared to be the script of the movie, apparently spoiling who the killers were. Boycotters of the film proceeded to spam photoshopped images of the apparent killers all over posts made by the official Scream and Paramount accounts. because the internet has made stupid people really whatever. It's given them a long, long reach.
Yeah, it was very. I mean, unfortunately, I got spoiled to a lot of things. Now, I didn't know what was real and what wasn't. So even going into it, I had a feeling, but kind of what I did to kind of throw myself off the scent was I had already seen a little bit of spoilers. So I basically looked at everything. So I didn't know what to believe. So I went in the most twisted way. I went in as fresh as I possibly could, because idiots on the online think, I don't care what your political beliefs are. I'm coming here for a slasher film and eat my popcorn. Go protest on the courthouse steps. Don't do it in the movie theater. I'm so sick of that garbage. It's
I really think that this is just another example of how fandom has just gotten too toxic. I've bitched incessantly about it the last several months. We're in this weird time where everybody wants to hate movies. And I'm just like, if a movie doesn't interest you, just don't go see it. Like I to this day have not seen the Barbie movie. I've had people tell me it's funny. It's actually kind of, while the movie that it is, it's actually kind of entertaining, a little bit entertaining for everybody. I won't smash the movie because I've never seen it. I mean, maybe it is really funny. I just, for some reason, I never wanted to sit down and watch it. Same thing with a lot of other movies. I'm just not interested. I'm not going to bash these movies. I'm not going to go online and tell you that Barbie sucks. I'm just going to say I've never seen it. I don't understand why people are going online and saying this movie sucks. I'm like, well, for one, how do you know unless you bought a ticket and supported the movie, dumbass? But it's like, why do you feel the need to go online and puff out your chest and be the keyboard cowboy and do? I mean, how sad is your life that's what makes you feel better? BJ said it's not funny. It's like I'll take one of these days I'll watch it, but I'm not in a big.
Just look at social media. Everybody's going to post their political beliefs and what they identify as in the byline of their Twitter accounts. And if you don't praise and love what they are, they get up in arms about it. How many Karens are on the internet taking videos of people doing something they have no business getting into, and everybody thinks they have a voice that's more important than everybody else's, when in reality, we all need to shut up and go on about our lives.
This is why I'm glad the word retard is making a comeback on the internet and on Twitter.
Yes.
Because some people just, and me and Jeremy have said this forever. I was like, I have nothing against people who have any kind of a disability, but sometimes some things are just fucking retarded.
There's a difference in a handicapped person and a retard. A retard is the person who, like I just said, puts all their pronouns in their byline, and if you don't worship the ground that they walk on, by God, you're going to hear about it. I don't care what side you're on. Everybody sucks. Just shut up.
Take all your negative reviews to Blue Sky. Nobody's reading Blue Sky anyway. But one piece of trivia I've got left: when Sidney and Gail are visiting the Fallbrook Mental Institution, there's a picture of Tori Spelling in between all of the other hand-drawn pictures, implying that perhaps the killer had a fascination with the actress playing the character of Sidney in the fake in-movie Stab franchise. This would also explain the killer's obsession with Sidney, since Tori Spelling portrayed her in the fake film.
Yeah, I know. See, I've always kind of had that theory of if Scream ever wanted to reboot, they should just remake the Stab movies and say, "Oh, it's a new thing," even though they could literally just remake the Scream movies 1 through 6 and just call them Stab with a green ghost face, and people would pay to go see it. Like it's a way they could do it. I'm surprised that they haven't. I mean, they make Stab posters and T-shirts. Make a Stab movie. Why not? I mean, at this point, who gives a crap?
Yeah, but maybe that's the reboot idea instead of remaking Scream.
Just make Stab. Yeah.
It'd be like inspired by fake events. That's how you can start the movie. Inspired by fake events.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines in the Naked Gun movie is when she says, "I write true crime novels based on crimes that I make up in my head." That's exactly what true crime is these days. But I mean, before we get out of here, let's first talk about. Okay, for one, this shot is fucking epic. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
this was great cinematography. I even looked over at my girlfriend. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! That's awesome."
There's only one shot in this movie that's better, and that's that head on the beer tap with beer and blood coming out of the mouth.
And let's talk about, for one, there were a lot of kills in this movie. I think there were 10. Usually in a movie like this, you get 5, 6, something like that. There was something like 10 in this movie, to say nothing about the bloodbath at the bar, where somehow these two managed to survive because apparently God hates me enough to where I accept these idiots for their movie. But I mean, there were a lot of kills. I mean, Tex, what did you think about the sheer number of people who were getting the knife in this movie compared to other films?
Well, you know, I mean, Scream has always been a reactionary franchise to what the others, the other slashers do. And when you have a guy like Art the Clown running around killing people in the most imaginative ways possible, whether it's through a freeze dry and a hammer, or a hacksaw upside down naked, or the myriad of ways he kills people, you have to stay with the times. And, that's what I was talking about earlier. It was, I forget who it was on Night Watch's review the other day. One of the guys that he had on his panel, he actually criticized, I think it was Killjoy Jake, I believe it was. He actually criticized it was too gory to be a Scream film. And I'm sorry, but if you're watching a slasher movie, which Scream is a meta slasher based on others, you have to stay with the times. And I like that this movie was as gory and as violent as it was, because hell, y'all know, I love gore and blood, guts, and tits and all the fun things that, horror slasher gives us. I was perfectly fine with it. My only complaint was how heavily CGI, especially like the headshot at the end of the movie, was. I thought they could have done that practically and it would have looked better, because I went back and watched this movie a second time. That headshot, it looks cool, but if you really pay attention, God, it looks bad, the CGI on that. But I'll give them credit for it. So it was fun.
One thing I did notice about that scene, as cool as it was, that she's basically getting mag dumped from two handguns in the face, which is awesome as I describe it. I noticed that the tone of that is really dark. I think the reason why you do that is so you can hide some of the not quite finished CGI.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
but let's face it,
that's always been the trick with CGI.
The important part of that scene is that she's taking roughly 30. If those bullets had full mags, we're talking about 32 bullets to the face.
They would, they'd both be at least 10 and ones, right? So yeah, I mean, she's getting a healthy dose. I mean,
at least. So you're looking at anywhere from 20 to 30 rounds to the noggin, or to the the orbital structure, as they call it in the skull. But but also that beer tap kill, God, that was awesome. I was like,
beer tap kill is that instantly shot into my top favorite kills ever in a horror film.
I gotta be honest, my only knock on that kill is that I saw it coming as soon as I saw the beer tap. And Jeremy will get a kick out of this. As soon as I saw the beer tap, I saw what's his name falling on it in Hot Fuzz, where he goes up right here. As soon as I saw the beer tap, that's kind of where my head went, and I was like, I have a feeling beer taps.
I'm telling you,
the next few minutes.
I'm gonna be the only one. I'm like, it's just too bad. It looked like absolute shit and actually made no goddamn sense. But really, a cool thing.
Really? Okay.
Dude, that was the kind of kill I would have expected from Art the Clown. It's like it's gonna be outrageous.
Right. What I'm saying.
Way too much. Because you've already stabbed the guy however many times, but to pick him up in the back of his head, the pointy thing all the way out, and the beer coming out, it was all over. I was like, oh yeah, that's the shit right there.
It was like CG'd and it looked fake as fuck. I'm like, why is the beer blue? I was like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden it was just now it's spitting fucking straight blood. I was like, that's not how that works. I didn't even think that's where. Look, I don't plan to work in a bar, but I'm like, I don't think that's where the beer even comes out of the tap. That makes no goddamn sense. I was like, that's the handle. But again, it was CG. I'm sorry that I'm dogging on what is probably the most creative kill and probably one of the most brutal. But I'm like, but it makes no damn sense, and it also looked like shit. If you would have at least done it properly, made it look a little practical, I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a pass.
I will say,
I don't know.
The minute that they release a Ghostface action figure, I don't care if it's an action figure, Funko Pop, whatever, of him standing there in front of that victim with beer coming out of his mouth, that will be on my shelf immediately. That it will look so cool sitting as a pop figure or whatever they make it out of. Because that was just
reciprocating fountains and just have it sit on your
right. That's what I'm saying. How cool like a yard ornament of Ghostface standing there, you know, like screw the hose to it or something. Like something like that would be amazing. I love that. And that, I mean, we have to go back to the opening kill with, you know, homeboy getting stabbed in the side of the head. Now we know that was a digital knife. Yeah, and the eyes, and then old girl getting set on fire. That was for as unconnected to the rest of the movie as that kill was. I love a brutal opening scene of a Scream film, and that delivered. Like, you know, setting the house on fire, you know, everything else. Now I did notice. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's the only two like creative kills in the movie were the beer tap and then Mckenna Grace's thing, and I'm like, honestly, Mckenna Grace's was kind of fucking that was metal as hell.
Oh, it was great. Oh yeah,
got it from the ceiling, and her guts are falling out and shit. I was like, okay, that was pretty damn cool.
Well, they kind of, because we had Ghostface. We had the opening kill where the girl fell on the knife, and then that kill, Mckenna Grace is getting sliced as he's holding it still, and she's going across it herself. So, you know, they kind of, a couple of the Ghostface kills he kind of got for free in this movie, but they doesn't mean that they weren't cool, you know. So they did deliver on the kills. I liked it. I would have liked to see more practical. I do agree with Jeremy on that, but I do like their ideas that they brought to it. So just use less CGI. It's not that hard.
You know? Yeah, you're getting points for creativity in movies like this. I love the creativity of going through the back of his brain pan up through his head.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
I saw the hot fuzz thing too, Frank. I know. I saw it coming too.
I'll have to. Oh yeah. As soon as I saw that beer tap, I was like, yeah, that's going to play a part here in a minute. There's this YouTube channel. There's this YouTube channel named Dr. Mike that I watch from time to time, and he does he's a doctor. Obviously, he does medical scenes from different medical shows and talks about the authenticity and all that. But every now and again, he will talk about stuff from movies, like injuries they got on Jackass, or injuries that, you know, stupid stuff from stupid movies that obviously aren't real. But he talks about the reality of it all. I may go to his Discord and be like, I want you to go look at that kill in the new Scream movie and let me know exactly how that would work. Give me the mechanism. And hopefully he'll break it down for me. And would it be real that the beer came out of his mouth, or was that just?
Dude, I do work in the bar, and I'm telling you, the day after I saw this movie for the first time, I didn't look at a tap the same way after that. I'm like, okay, if somebody ever comes in here to fuck around and find out, I'm using that bar tab on. Like, that's going down.
I just want to see if this works.
Right. Like,
you don't look at it the same way. Like, I'm not going to look at Cheeseburger the same way after seeing Evil Dead. I was like,
oh yeah, Jesus. Evil Dead Rise. Yeah, like I said, the day after I saw this, you know, I went to work and like I made a mental note of which of them was the sharpest. If I ever had to stab it through the back of somebody's dome piece, like I made a mental note of, okay, bad guy, please stand right here so I can pick you up and place you. You know.
We know what Texas is going to do when they decorate the bar for Halloween. He's going to put a big like fake head on that tap and have it come out.
Oh yeah. Oh dude. Oh yeah. Oh dude. Oh, I've already got plans. Like I said, y'all know me too well. The minute I saw that kill, even being CG, like I said, Jeremy nailed it with the CGI on that. Like, because originally it kind of looks like beer, and then blood, and kind of maybe that's like guts coming out of him. I'm not really sure. It doesn't quite look like beer, but I love that idea of that kill so much. I'm going to forgive it, and it's just a fun kill, man. I love that part.
Oh, it was fun. I'm just saying, I just couldn't quite forgive it for a couple of things. It was cool though.
Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up now. Let me get your guys' final thoughts. I go to you first, Tex. Give me your final thoughts on Scream 7.
Yeah, there's more good than bad in this movie. I'm not like as anal retentive as some people of the Scream franchise. I had fun with this one. Even with the bad, stupid plot and the crappy AI stuff, I enjoyed it. I've seen it twice. I'd rank this one 4th in the franchise. Well, technically 5th. I'd go 1, 4, 2, 3, then 7, 6, and 5. Go see it. If you're a horror fan, you're gonna like it, I think. you just heard all three of us pick this thing apart for the last however long we've been here. There is some major holes, but come on, dude, it's Scream fucking 7. Like, you know what you're getting into when you buy the ticket. So give it a chance. Go check it out. I liked it. It was all right. It was, was what it was.
Jeremy, how about you? Give me your final thoughts on Scream 7.
I think we again got a more return to form, although maybe not a complete return, as we've seen. Not everybody fully returned, so. But
Force Ghost Stu. We got Force Ghost Stu.
At this point,
that would be cooler.
He's got like a busted TV on his fucking head, looking like the fucking.
Right. He's wearing it around like a necklace. He's got the whole thing hanging off of him.
Yeah. So, like I said, I had fun with the movie, and like I said, I had more fun with it given the fact that Sidney Prescott was actually in the movie. Just a couple things that just irked me the wrong way that I felt like they kind of missed a mark with. So I don't know. Middle of the line, like I said, I had fun with it. Just, I know I'm just like, yeah, I would have done this. I'm like, but I don't write for Hollywood, so what do I know? I don't know.
Yeah, if I got to rank them the way that Tex did, I'm going 1, then I'm going a little bit of a drop off, and then 7, and then I'm going a little bit of a drop off, and then 4, which I thought was a better.
I like 4 as much as I do 1,
and the rest of them just kind of fall into place wherever. I mean, they weren't, like I said, a couple of them were just pretty bad. But I mean, like, I know it sounds like we were shitting this movie a lot. The reality is, it's a straight up movie. It's pretty good. It's just the overarching story of the entire franchise to me is a bit fragmented, and I don't think they know exactly what they want to do with it. And if they do, they're just making the wrong decisions. But this movie, in and of itself, is actually it's pretty good. There's a lot of great visuals. I don't understand how anybody would bitch about a slasher movie being too bloody. One of my knocks in the franchise is they don't quite show the blood that you would see from Terrifier or some other movies where they really kind of go, anything Rob Zombie, where they really kind of go for the visuals. But yeah, I think it's a really good movie. It's better than some of the stuff. It hasn't done much to make Scream one of my favorite horror franchises. I still think it's one of my least favorites, just mainly because I don't think they can. When you look at them all as like one big mosaic of a story, I think it's not as cohesive. They have some issues along the way. Just the way they do certain characters, there's just a lot of things about it overall that I don't like. But this movie is actually pretty good. I think this was the best movie they were going to make, given all the trouble around what they originally intended to do. Because originally there was going to be this 3-movie arc where Sarah Bareilles' character becomes the killer and Billy's talking her into it in her head or whatever. I would much rather see Stu come back, even in stupid AI form, and to have this story that we had, as opposed to watching her annoyingly slip into whatever dementia she's going to slip into. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I think this franchise is in a better spot now than they would have been if they had stayed that course. But whatever. People can agree or disagree with me in the chat. Go down and let me know if you think I'm an asshole or not. I can take it. Also, I want your engagement to help you. Yeah.
Frank, you're an asshole. There you go. I did it.
Yeah. Well, no, you got to comment that. You need to push me up so we can get us up the algorithm. But yeah, it's a good movie. Go watch it. I mean, if you're a fan of horror, it's a pretty solid movie. It really was nice seeing Stu Macher back on screen again, though. And I really liked the fact that he even had like the scars on his face. There was a couple of details, and I was like, I'm really with what they're doing here. Like, he had been beat up. And they took me right to the edge of hope that Stu was back, and then yanked it back and just dashed my hopes. Which, maybe they're going to make up for it in the next movie by saying that he is actually still alive. We'll see.
Dashed your hopes like you were a McKenna Grace hanging from the ceiling.
They start shooting the new movie soon, and it'll be out in a couple of years, and I'll know then if they actually want to do the right thing and bring Stu all the way back, or if they're going to go into space. It's going to be one of those two things, and if they go to space, then I'm just going to keep my money and I'm just going to walk out of the theater.
Alien, the Alien franchise did tell us that in space nobody can hear you scream, right? Well, what if in Scream we do hear them scream in space? Does that prove Alien wrong? Because now we've opened up a new vortex.
I don't know. I guess
just saying.
Don't say that too loud. It'll give them a crossover idea, and then I got to deal with the fucking
Ghostface
crossover.
A Xenomorph Ghostface. Oh my God. Somebody on the internet who does fan art, make that and send it to me immediately. I want to see that.
Somebody used Storia to show fucking Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting. Somebody can go in there and put Ghostface against the Xenomorph. I just want to give me a proof of concept. That's all I need. About a 30-second long video. Proof of concept. That's all I want. But go see it. It's in theaters right now. We got streaming services in like a week and a half for a couple of bucks, I'm guessing. Because apparently to kill the movie theaters, but go see it. Do not trust anything we say. Go see the movies. Go support the
except
theater.
for me. I'm right. I'm right.
He's sometimes right. He's like, I don't know. He's like 51%. It's more than 50, but not quite. But go see it. Go see it. It is a good movie to watch, even just kind of in and of itself. What's funny is you don't even really need to know much about the franchise prior to this movie. You just gotta know trying to kill Sidney. That's pretty much it. I don't think
you can go in blind. It's fine.
You don't have to do homework to go see this movie anymore. You pretty much did it. But thanks to my co-host for being so awesome as usual. Text where don't find you, my friend.
Find me here when I'm available. I took off tonight so I could be here for this, so you're welcome, Internet. But I did send Frank, I don't know if he posted it or not yet. I got to see an early showing of the new horror film Dolly. If you ever wanted to see what the Sawyer family from Texas Chainsaw Massacre's cousins in Tennessee do about this gigantic Leatherface-like lady that wears a doll mask and does horrible things, go watch Dolly. It's out in theaters right now, and you can go to the shorts on this channel and see my review. So
I have not put it up yet. I did download it on my phone. I'll get it up hopefully tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, as soon as Frank posts the short, I didn't give any spoilers or nothing. Like I said, I got to go to an early screening of it. It was a pretty good film. I'll just say this: be careful of your nipples while you're watching this movie. I'll just leave it at that. So,
color me right at the same time.
Yeah, nipples are. And Stifler boy Sean William Scott, he gets it rough. So it is what it is.
And my hetero life mate Jeremy, where can the folks at home find you, sir?
Whenever we do this, so there's that.
Are you still a terrible content creator though? That's the important thing.
Yeah, that still hasn't changed. So I see. It's like, do I want to ruin the joke anymore? Like, I can still. I mean, to be fair, I can still put stuff out and still say that. I guess that's true.
Well, are you even here, or are you just AI, Jim? I mean, we got AI too.
You don't even know if I'm actually here.
Right. I mean, this could all be a fake. I mean, you could be Rachel we're talking to right now, and we don't know.
I did say something to her the other day. I'm like, something I had a really sad realization about AI now is I'm like, you can't even use the phrase "pictures or didn't happen" anymore. I'm like,
right.
Now I've got a video that shows it happening, but whatever.
Now I can't even prove with a video. I can't prove it. I mean, I lived through the Photoshop era where you still couldn't trust anything you saw. You're like, that's fake. That's been manipulated. I'm like, now it's gotten even worse where you seriously just cannot tell anymore. I'm like, now it's just ruined everything. It ruins the jokes. Fuck AI. Fuck them clankers. God damn it. I'm gonna start a war with these machines. Oh my god, it radicalized me so fast.
Jeremy's gonna be John Connor in the Resistance. He's gonna take on Skynet.
I might fucking be, honestly.
But you can find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're back into the normal swing of things after taking most of February off, and I think it was much needed for everybody. I got a lot of stuff done around my house. Got caught up on a few life things I needed to get done. I know Jeremy had a full time. Tex has been doing what he's been doing, but the batteries have been recharged. We're back at it now. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing next week. We'll be doing something. guaranteed it. Jeremy's got some ideas of different stuff that he wants to put out, some content in the channel. We're going over that as well. So you might see more as we get into the summer, some different things. The collaboration I wanted to do for March did not come around, but I'm kind of glad because it's going to give me some time to get the people that I really want involved.
To be fair, that was a really big concept. You couldn't just throw together though. Like that was.
In all fairness, I will take responsibility. In all fairness, I got tied up doing other things in life, and I had time to get it together. But there was a lot going on, and by the time I had time to like sit and go into it, is when we were kind of in our downtime in February, and I had so much shit around my house I wanted to get done.
It's still a good idea, though. We still need to do it, maybe for October, maybe.
It's good. No, I want it to be in March. It'll be March next year. But we may do something. I have the idea in my head to do some conceptual stuff over the course of the summer. That will be a kind of a trial run for what the bigger form of it would be. And I'll reach out to people and I'll make it happen on a smaller scale so that we can iron out all the stuff. And so that way next March when I do go full scale with it and make it like a full like 4 to 6 week collaboration between a bunch of people, it's going to be awesome. But there's also another collaboration I'm working on with Natalie from My So-Called Gen X Life. She's got a really cool channel. Go check her out as well. I've been listening to her a lot lately. Go check her out. There's some things. Hopefully we'll be able to do some stuff and grow the channel a lot more. But yeah, there'll be some things happening. So come check us out. Thanks to my cohorts for being so awesome. Thanks to all of you for coming and hanging out. It's very much appreciated. Assholes, whatever. They're pushing up the algorithm. We'll see you guys next time. Till then, adios. Tex, they've got you should be happy. They're actually making a new version of Faces of Death. I read the other day.
I did see that. I saw the trailer. I'm excited.
That looks intriguing.
I'm excited for it. It looks cool. I'm down for it.
So maybe we can get an actual version of somebody being having their head skewered on a beer tap.
We still haven't reviewed the first Faces of Death. We can do that one sometime too. What the hell?
I'm not against that. I'm not against that. We'll talk about it, but we'll see.
Hell yeah.
First one is kind of a classic. It is one of those underground cult movies that kind of get. It's one of the things that gets me to being a real movie fan.
I have always had a thing for Sidney. It is what it is.
True. Bye, everybody.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.